Greetings, participants. Welcome to Module 2. We will be doing Module 2 this week. My name is Eric Juma Wabwile. I am one of the facilitators for this module. But before we start the module, we will go through the challenges that our participants have been facing, in particular in relation to the practical session that we did. We did in Module 1. So we have sampled some of the issues that the participants were facing, and we are here today to address those issues before we start Module 2. And the first issue was on appending photos in the pop-up of the web map. It was an issue that most of the participants faced. So first, we are here to address that particular issue. And then we will sort out any other issue that the participants were facing during the assignment. So first, in the assignment, we used layers that we have hosted in the RCOE job portal. And these layers are owned by the RCOE project. They don't belong to the participants. And therefore, the participants don't have full rights of editing these layers. And that is the issue that most participants were facing. However, remember that you can still be able to create your own feature layer, host it in your account, and you will have all the full rights of editing that particular layer. So I just want to show you how you can quickly create your own layer, the one that you will have full rights to edit, and how you can quickly add the field, and lastly, how you can edit that layer to add data or values. So first, I want to take you through to the Protected Planet website, so that you download your data, your protected and conserved areas data for your country, and then we will go and add it in your account, and we will use that layer to now edit the table and add the field and add the photos. So to do that, I want you to open a new tab and just go to Protected Planet, websites. Remember that you need internet for this particular exercise. So if you don't have it, make sure that you are connected to internet. Once you go to your website, or once you go to the website, I need you to click on Explore Protected Areas and OECMs. It will take you to this interface here. Then you can click on countries and search for your country. You can type in the name of your country. For example, we can use a country like, last time we used Kenya and Uganda. Today we can use Zambia. So type Zambia, and then press enter. You should be able to see your country in the resultant window. So click on it. And then you can go ahead and download your country. To download your country, you go up there on the top right corner, there's a download button, click on it. And then we are downloading a file geodatabase. So just click on file geodatabase, pick the non-commercial use option. Remember, you can only download data from this website if you're going to use it for non-commercial use. If you want to use it for commercial use, you go to IBAT websites. So once you click on commercial use, it will be packaged and your download will be ready. Now click on download again to download your data. So your data will be downloaded. We are going to use this data here. When you go to your downloads folder, you should be able to see it. We are going to use that particular data to create our own feature layers. So once it's downloaded, I need you to go back to the ArcGIS, log into ArcGIS Online. Log into ArcGIS Online account. And then click on the Content tab. click on the Content tab. Then we are going to add a new item. So click on New Item. And then we are going to pick it from our device. So you click on your device, and then go and select it. So just go to your downloads folder. You should be able to see the file that you downloaded. Click on it, and just click on Open. So once you open, the software will automatically know what you are adding. In this case, it's asking which file are you uploading. It is a file geodatabase, so make sure that you choose file geodatabase as the option. Then how would you like to add this file? We can add it as a hosted feature layer. So I'm being told that some of you are lost, so let us go through the same procedure again. Let me cancel what I'm doing. And I have been told that the file that we have downloaded also consists of many files. So I need you to go to your downloads folder first and confirm that your file is downloaded. Confirm it is downloaded. If it is downloaded, I want us to go through this procedure very fast. Right-click on it, just right-click on it, and extract it. Let us see the contents of the file. Open your extracted folder, and then the geodatabase that we are trying to add is here. It's called WDP_WDOCM_August 2025_public_ZMB.GDB. This is the geodatabase that we are going to add. We want to add. When you open it, you can see that it consists of files that you can't understand. It's okay because you can't read it. You need to read it within the software. So this particular file is the one that we are going to add. So for us to only add this file, because this zipped file had many files, just right-click on it, go to Send To, and then compress. Choose compressed or zipped folder, so that we only upload that. Thank you for that, and we can go back to the browser. So we will go through the same procedure again. I want to believe that you have already downloaded your data and you have unzipped the one you downloaded and zipped the geodatabase alone. So to add it, you go to log into your account. It will take you to a home page like me, and then click on the Contents tab. Once you are in the Contents tab, on the top left corner, there is a button called New Item. Click on New Item. It gives you this New Item window, which can help you upload your data or create your feature layer. You can click on your device. Because our file is inside our computer, click on your device. It will open this window where you can browse to where it is. Once it opens it, go to the Downloads folder. And this time round, go to the folder that you unzipped. Double-click on it so that it opens. And then pick the geodatabase that you zipped. Just click on it, and then click on Open. Click on Open. It takes you to this screen. So what you need to do first is to specify the file type. In our case, this is a geodatabase. I just come and click on this arrow here and pick a file, geodatabase. And then there's a question down there, how would you like to add this file? Remember I told you that when you add this file, you can add it as an item, which people can access and download. That is okay. But you can also add it as a feature layer, a hosted feature layer. And for you to have full editing rights, over the layer, you must add it as a hosted feature layer. So pick add WDPO, WDOCM, August 2025 public. Then the ISO code of your country, .gdb, .zip, and create a hosted feature layer option. Then click on next. So you can give your layer a name, the title. For this case, you can change the name. Call it protected and conserved areas of Zambia. So for me, because I'm adding data for Zambia, I'll call it protected and conserved areas of Zambia. Now, when you're adding a file, remember one thing is that we are using accounts of the same organization, which is the training, RCMID-training. Therefore, if you add your file and use the same name, I'm assuming if you have, maybe there are 2 or 3 more participants from Zambia, and they use the same name Zambia, others, the add option will fail because you can't host the same file or the file with the same name more than once. So you can't have duplicate files stored within the same account or the same organization. So what I suggest that you do is that if it fails to add, and you're adding data for your country, you can add a number there, add 1. If 1 fails, add 2, add 3 until it accepts. Otherwise, most of it might fail not because it is a wrong procedure, but just because you are using the same name. 2 or 3 of you are using the same name to add the file. So under the folder, make sure that you select the folder that you want to add. In our previous class, we had created a folder called Application of GIS in Conservation. Just pick it. If you are not there, just click on Create New Folder and create it. Then click on the tick to pick it. Then to save it. Then you can add the tags. As I told you, tags are phrases that you can use to search for this file. So you can use even the name of the file as a tag. You can copy it and then come and paste it there. And then put a comma to separate the tags. It will be picked as a tag. You can add others. For example, these are protected areas. The layer contains protected areas. It contains protected and conserved areas. So when someone types all these, it will appear. So put the tags. These are phrases that would be used to identify the layer. Then you can come and give a summary. It's a description of the feature layer that you want to create. You can use the title, Protected and Conserved Areas of Zambia. You can say these are protected and conserved areas, or this layer contains. This layer contains protected and conserved areas of Zambia. So once you have added everything, you can come and save. If it fails to save, remember to go and change the name. Let's click on save. So give it a few seconds to process, and your layer will be added. Your layer will be added. I'm giving it a few seconds for it to create a service that we can use. So just give it some time. It also depends on the strength of the internet that you have and the strength of your machine, your computer. So give it some time to process. So as we wait for it to create the service, we can be going through the basic information of this particular layer. So first, you can change the thumbnail of the layer so that when someone comes, they can see the thumbnail. By clicking on this arrow here, on this icon here, you can edit the thumbnail. I hope you can see my cursor. When you click on it, you can change the thumbnail. A thumbnail is just an image that will be used as to show your layer. Then you can come and edit even the name of the layer. You can change the name of the layer by clicking on this edit button here. I remember in our introductory class, we introduced the various elements of data, of geographic data. The first element was the geometries, which we know. Then we had the second, we said, is the attributes. These are descriptive informational features. For example, in this case, for protected and conserved areas layer, attributes will be the name of protected areas, the designation of the protected areas, the status of the protected areas. Those are types of some of the attributes of the protected and conserved areas. The third element, we said, it's metadata. And we said metadata is data about data. What it means that this is more description of your data. So, for example, what you are seeing here, like a description, this is metadata that you can add to your data. So when you click on add a description, you can describe this particular layer. You can describe how it was collected, who owns it, and you give all the information about the layer. You can also come and specify the terms of use. This is also part of the metadata. You can come and click here. If this layer has any restrictions, you can come and add that and add terms of use. So you can come and change the metadata of your layer. It seems our data is a bit huge. The creation of the service is taking a while. We can't interrupt the process, so we can be patient a bit so that it finishes the process. But as we wait, we can be adding maybe a description of this layer. I click on add the description, then you can just type. You can type this feature layer was downloaded from the protected planet websites. And if you want to link it to protected planet website, you can go switch back to protected planet, pick the link, copy the link, and then come back to your account. Select protected planet websites, and then click on this icon here, link. And then you can paste your link there and click on the tick so that when someone wants to come and they can click back and go to the source of the data. You can say this layer can only be used. Okay, no, this one you can put it in the restriction, times of use. So maybe you can save, click on save, and then under the terms of use, we can click on add terms of use and type this layer can only be used. This layer can only be used. This layer can only be used for non-commercial use. For non-commercial purpose. So that anyone who wants to use data for commercial use, they can go to the protected, to the IBAT website. So once you add that, you can click on save. Click on save, and it will be saved. Lastly, we can go and share this layer so that if you want people in your organization to see it or use it, or you want people in ArcGIS Online to use the layer, you can come and click on share option here. Click on share option, and then you can share it. So if you want to share it with everyone, just click on everyone here, and then click on save, and it will be shared with the public. So as we wait for it, we can be exploring the data that is in this layer, if it allows us. Up here, you can see we have a number of tabs. We have overview, we have data, we have visualization, we have usage, and we have settings. For you to be able to view the data in this layer, you can click on Data tab. I give it some time to open. It's taking a while, but under the data is where you will be able to view the data that is within this layer. You can see all the records within the layer, and it's here that you will be able also to add a field. So you can see on the left we have the table and the fields option. Under the fields option, when you click on it, it will show you, it will populate all the fields within this layer. And on the right, you will have a button on the top right corner to assist you to add a field if you want to add a field. So that is where you will be adding the field. And then you can go to visualization if you want to visualize it. Visualize the geometry of this layer. You can see the map under visualization. If you want to see the usage of the layer, you can click on here on usage. But very importantly, we have the settings option here, which you can set. You can set the various parameters of the layer, including enabling editing. So under usage, under the settings, it's taking a while, I think, because it is still creating the feature service. But if you want to edit to configure your layer to accept the edits, you need to come to the settings, then you can enable editing. Otherwise, you will have a layer which you can't edit. So as long as you don't enable editing, people will be prevented to edit it. So you need to come to the settings, then you can set the layer to accept editing. So I'll be taking you through the process, the entire process of adding a field and also adding photos. But because it's taking a while, I want to invite my colleague to start on this new module. Then we'll proceed later on. So let me give this to my colleague to start on module 2.
Hello, my name is Amudavi Christopher. I'm a GIS Seascape Ecosystems expert at RCMRD. Welcome to the second module. Of this course, and in this module, we'll be looking at how to manage protected areas databases. So in the previous module, you learned about different databases that have protected areas data, including WDPA, WDOECM, and GDPAME. So in this module, we will be looking at how to manage and how to update those datasets, those databases. So the first session will just introduce you to just looking at what those databases are. I know we've already covered them, but we can just remind ourselves what the databases are and how to check for gaps within those databases so that we are able to update that data. So we will be looking at an overview of what WDPA is. I've talked about the three databases, WDPA, so that is World Database on Protected Areas, and WDOECMs, and we will also be looking at RCOE Geoportal, because it is also another informative platform that has statistics and regional statistics for Eastern and Southern Africa region concerning the protected areas and OECMs. So what is WDPA? Just to remind ourselves, WDPA is a global database that provides comprehensive information about protected areas. So this is an authoritative source of data for protected areas. So if you want to track the progress of your country in terms of meeting target 3 of the KMGBF, then you'll find that information in WDPA. So remember, we said that the headline indicator for target 3 is the coverage. So the coverage is indicated in the WDPA for every country. So what is RCOE Geoportal? RCOE Geoportal, it's a platform that was established to track the progress of KMGBF target 3 for countries that are found within Eastern and Southern Africa. So they provide country-specific statistics and also regional statistics based on regional economic blocks. So then how do we identify gaps in WDPA? So we will be using both databases, including WDPA, GDPAME, and OECMs, to just check where we have gaps and look at how do we address these gaps. So one of the ways of one of the gaps that are common in WDPA or in these databases, so is missing or incomplete protected areas boundaries. So you'll find that some of the protected areas have not been mapped yet, or they have been identified, but the coverage has not been established, and the boundaries have not been done. So you'll find most of those protected areas that have not been mapped in terms of coverage exists in terms of points. So when you are looking at, when you are trying to pull data from the RCOE Geoportal, remember you pulled data on points and also pulled data on protected areas polygons. So the points simply indicate that those are areas that have been identified as protected areas, but they have not been mapped. The boundaries have not been established in terms of mapping. They have not been mapped yet. So that's a gap that can be handled by mapping and updating the polygons in WDPA or in their various platforms or databases. So the second gap or issue that you are likely to encounter when interacting data from those databases is outdated data on protected areas, or even the status. So it's outdated data maybe on status, and also outdated data on management effectiveness. Remember, management effectiveness is one of the indicators of when you are tracking the progress of target 3. So in as much as you establish protected areas, you also have to ensure that the management of those protected areas is effective. So how do you identify outdated data in WDPA? So I used an example of Eritrea. Eritrea has around 11 protected areas, but when you're looking at the statistics for Eritrea, you realize that Eritrea has 0% in terms of efforts towards target 3. So why is it so? Because the status of the protected areas maybe has not been updated yet, because currently the status of the protected areas is proposed. So those are proposed protected areas, and they have not been fully designated as protected areas. So the other gap or issue that you are likely to encounter is misaligned spatial boundaries. So spatial boundaries are quite important, especially when you are dealing with protected areas, because we say that protected area must have a clearly defined boundary. So if you look at the snippet that is on the screen right now, you realize that there is a protected area which is a bit green, and the boundary seems to flow into settlements. And then it leaves part of the protected area above it. So this is a gap or an issue that can be solved by updating the right polygons into the databases. So the source of this kind of error could be maybe when you are using a wrong projection system, or there was an error encountered when you are trying to process the data. So the other gap or issue that you are likely to encounter is overlaps and also duplicates. So duplicate entries. So overlaps is where two boundaries are eating into one another. So as you can see on the screen, we have the protected area with the blue, with the, is it purple or violet, yeah, outline, and the other one with the green. So you realize that there is an area that these protected areas are sharing. Yet these are two different protected areas. So this is also an issue that can be solved by carrying out the right mapping on the ground and updating the same. Sorry, someone updating the same to the databases. So incorrect attribute data. So incorrect attribute data is you look at the data that has been provided to the WDPA versus the data that you are able to find when you are analyzing the polygon files that were mapped on the ground. So an example, I've used one of the protected areas that have been updated in the WDPA from Kenya. And you can see that when you calculate the area using GIS technology, you get the area as 6.28 square kilometers. But the reported area, the protected area was reported to have 3.99 square kilometers. So this is just an attribute data that is incorrect, and it can be corrected. So the other one is data that is not up to date. So for example, I've used an example of Zambia. If you navigate to WDPA, or that is a protected planet, you'll find this information there. And looking at it keenly, you'll find that some of the data sets were updated in 2024, some in 2023, and others in 1993, etc. So when you see that, there could be two possibilities. Maybe the institution that was updating in 2023 changed, and now we have a new institution that is updating it. So maybe the data is up to date, or it can also mean that the data was last updated in 1993 and it has never been updated. So those possibilities are there, and you have to go ahead and ensure that and confirm, just to ensure that the data is up to date. So the other issue is maybe when a new protected area has been established. So a country may decide to gazette new protected area. When it's gazetted, it needs to be updated because it means it was not in the database, so it needs to be updated. A country can also degazette a protected area, or even decide to partition protected areas. So when they do that, you need to ensure that the right polygons have been updated into the database. Yeah, the other one is incomplete metadata documentation. So in session 4, you'll be looking at documentation. So, and this is one of the most important things when you are updating data in WDP, in the databases, in the 3 databases that we talked about. So that is it for the introduction to the databases and identification of the issues within the databases. I will therefore welcome my colleague to proceed with the next steps. Thank you.
Greetings again. I'm back here to take you through the second part of the presentation. And thereafter, we will go back to our practical session to just check whether the feature service was created or not. But I just want to pick from what my colleague Christopher has presented. Once you have checked and identified gaps in your data, well, how do you proceed to update the data? First, I'll take you through the procedure of preparing your data for the updates. And before I take you through that procedure, I'll take you through some of the basic information that you need to know before you prepare your data. So first, you need to prepare a schema. A schema is a template that can be used to update your data. A template that conforms to the standards of the World Database on protected areas or World Database on other effective area-based conservation measures. So, and I want just to show you the linkage between the work that we do here and the WDPA. We work closely with the UNEP World Conservation and Monitoring Center to update data. data in the protected planet databases, particularly in the Eastern and Southern African region. If you come from other areas, of course, we have other institutions, regional institutions that work with the UNEP WCMC to update this data. You can reach out to those institutions or directly to UNEP WCMC to update the data. So like for our case, the data that we have in the RCOE portal, to avoid duplication and to standardize the data, we first update the WDPA, WDOCM or the GDPAME, and thereafter we just pull the data back to our geo portal through an API. I want to take you through the procedure of creating a schema, but just to reiterate again what my colleague Chris mentioned, is that the data that we update is used to track the progress against target 3. Remember, the headline indicator for target 3 is the coverage of protected and conserved areas, the coverage of protected areas in the OECMs. That is the headline indicator, but we have other component indicators like the protected area management effectiveness. Just to understand the WDPA data structure, WDPA data structure has 3 files. It has a file geodatabase that consists of 2 geospatial feature classes and 1 source table. So 2 geospatial feature classes means that it has, of course, the polygon and the points feature class. However, for some of the countries which have fully mapped their protected areas, you might just get all of the protected areas are polygons. However, we have some of the countries which have not even mapped any protected areas, so you'll get that country only has points and not polygons. So this one can vary a bit, but WDPA it stores data in 5 geodatabases, which consists of 2 geospatial feature classes, that is the points and polygons, and 1 source table. So the source table contains the information of the data provider. There is a template of capturing that information. Depending on whether we have an existing relationship or not. If we have an existing relationship, of course, we don't need to provide the source information because we already know you. But if you are a new data supplier, then of course, we will have to collect that information and keep it. So just to mention that each protected or conserved area that is input in the WDPA or WDOCM has a unique identifier called WDPA ID. It is very specific and unique to each site and is not reused. It is not reused. If a protected area is degazetted, that WDPA ID is deleted. So, so it is used for unique identification of protected and conserved areas. When we are storing our data, the data in the polygons or points feature classes, sometimes you may get like there is a feature that has 2 parts. Maybe there's a feature that is represented by 2 polygons. And it can be represented by 2 polygons if maybe there is a road passing at the center, so they have been mapped separately. So for such kind of features, we use multi-part polygons. And in this case, both polygons will have what's called the same WDPA ID. But then to identify the two parts uniquely, we also have another ID called WDPA parcel ID or WDPA PID. So a WDPA PID now is the most unique information that we have for identification of sites. So WDPA ID identifies the same sites, but if a site has 2 parts, then we use WDPA PID for identification of those particular sites. The same applies to points. We also use multi-points for a protected area or a conserved area that has 2 parts. WDPA stores up to 29 descriptors, or what we call attributes. And the WD OECM consists up to 31 of these attributes. So these attributes are categorized into two. We have those that are marked as minimum. So if an attribute is marked as minimum, that particular attribute is mandatory that it is provided by the data provider. So when you are updating your data in the WDPA or WDOECM, you have to take note of the minimum attributes, because the data will not be updated until all the minimum attributes are provided. And the minimum means they are mandatory attributes. Then we have another category we call complete. Complete refers to those attributes that are important but are not are not mandatory. They're important especially for calculation of statistics. They're important for understanding the protected and conserved areas, but they are not mandatory to be provided. So if you can provide these attributes, it is very important that you provide them, because they provide more information about your protected areas. They help in the calculation of statistics. But if you don't have them, then you are allowed not to provide them. But we strongly encourage that if you have all this information and you want to update your data, provide all the requested information. So with that understanding, I want to introduce you to what we call a WDPA data schema. A data schema is just a template that defines how data is organized, structured, and related within a database. So WDPA also has a schema that is used to update it. And the reason why we have schemas is to ensure that there is data consistency. Remember, we come from different countries. We manage different protected and conserved areas. We need to standardize our data. So what is defined as a protected area in your country should be the same definition of a protected area in my country. So the schema helps us to first ensure that there is consistency. All the sites must have to meet the definition of the protected areas or the conserved areas. And in this case, conserved areas mainly refers to the OECMs. So a data schema, a template also helps to minimize errors. So you remember, if you are doing it from scratch, you are prone to making errors. But if you have a template, then it guides you on how to prepare your data. It helps in easy data updates, of course, because the schema is the same as the database. So just updating the data is easy. It helps in enhanced collaboration, especially if the schema is used, it's the same across board. It enhances collaboration. It optimizes data access. It ensures that there is efficient data processing and data segregation. So I want to take you through the procedure of preparing a schema. Of course, we have taken you through the process of accessing the protected planet severally. So I'm sure by now you are good to go to the WDPA, to the protected planet, and download your WDPA database. That procedure, you know. You can prepare a schema within. You can prepare your schema within ArcGIS Pro, or you can use any other GIS software to prepare the schema. Nowadays, even QGIS is able to read a 5G database, so it's easy for you to go there, download your data, and just use it to create your schema. But for this case, I will show you how you can create a template within ArcGIS Online. Remember, next week we will use ArcGIS Pro. So we will also take you through the same procedure of creating a template in ArcGIS Pro. But for today, I'll show you how to create a template within ArcGIS Online. And that template can be used to update your data. So I don't want to go to the ArcGIS Pro for now. We'll give you the procedure of how to download ArcGIS Pro and install it on your computer, and how to be able to use it. Remember, you are given ArcGIS online accounts. Those are the same accounts that you will use for ArcGIS Pro. So you will just go and activate the license for ArcGIS Pro for you to be able to use it. But for now, allow me to switch back to my web browser and even check whether that feature service, it seems it is a bit long because it's still being created. It's still being created, and it's taking a while. But as it's created, it continues to create. I just want you I want to take you through the procedure of creating a schema within ArcGIS Online, and then we'll come back and check whether it has finished. If it will not have finished, then we can use a smaller layer to create a feature service. It seems maybe the data that we are adding is a bit heavy. So allow me to go. You can go back to the Contents tab. If you have logged into your ArcGIS Online, just click on Contents tab. Click on the Contents tab. And once you are in Contents tab, you can create your schema. And remember, the RCOE protected areas data that we have is pulled directly from Protected Planet, and therefore it has all the fields that we need for the WDPS schema. So we can just create a template out of it and use it to update our data. So what you're going to do is that once you get to the Contents tab, we'll go to new item, but before you go there, I just want you to go back to the RCOE job portal. Open the RCOE job portal. We need internet for this exercise. So it has opened. So once you go to the RCOE job portal, go to the datasets. Click on the datasets option. And then search for the protected areas polygons data. Protected areas polygons data. So of course it will open. It should be able to open. And we are just using the procedure that you used the last time. And maybe in the process, we will be resolving some of the questions and issues that you are facing. So once you open it, you need to go to click on I want to use this. If you want to use this layer, click on I want to use this. Otherwise, you can click on download and upload it. And I'm thinking if that layer takes time to create the other one, we'll come and download this layer and use it as a feature service layer. But for now, I'll come and click on I want to use this. And then one of the issues that we are getting last time, we were using the View API resources, and we are using the GeoService and GeoJSON links. And these links were missing some of the countries. For example, when you go and add it, you get countries like South Africa are not part of the features. So if you want to use a more comprehensive link that has not filtered anything, the GeoService link and the GeoJSON link has filtered some countries and only left others. If you want to get all the countries, let us use the View Data Source option. So just go to the View Data Source option and copy that link. So this is the link where features have not been filtered. So if you are in the Eastern and Southern African region and your country was not added, use this link, copy it, and then go back. So just make sure that you copy it. Then you go back to the ArcGIS Online, and then click on New Item. Remember, we are creating a schema. A schema is a template that will allow you to update your data. So in this case, we want to create a schema as a feature layer. We want to create a schema as a feature layer where we have the rights to edit. So you click on feature layer here, this option here. Let me go through it again. I have said first you need to go to the RCOE job portal. Make sure that you go to the RCOE job portal. Go to the RCOE job portal. Or once you are in the RCOE job portal, click on datasets. Click on datasets. And then search for the protected areas polygons. Protected areas polygons. Polygons data. Click on it. I give it some time to open. So it will open. Once it opens, it's taking time to draw. It has drawn the geometry. If you want to use this layer, you can come and download it, or you can just come and click on I want to use this. And it will take you to give you the various options of how to use it. If you want to create a map, you can do so. If you want to create a story map, you can do so. If you want to use the API resources, you can do so. We used these two options last time, but we realized that these API resources have filtered the data to only leave some countries. So if you want to see all the countries, you come and click on View Data Source. Click on View Data Source. It will give you a link to the REST service. The REST service is not filtered. So if you use that link, it will give you all the features that are within that feature service. So just copy it. Then make sure you copy it, right click and click on copy. Then switch back to the ArcGIS Online tab. And then we are going to create a template by clicking on New Item. So you click on a new item, and then you click on Feature Layer. Click on Feature Layer. So we're just creating a template based on the layer that we have just copied. So click on Feature Layer. And in this case, we are going to use the link. So there's option you can create. You can define your own layer. You can specify the layers and the tables. You can select an existing feature layer to do that. If you have it within your account or within your organization, you can use a template. You can use the layers and fields from a template if you have it. Or you can use an ArcGIS server layer URL. Because we have copied the URL, we use this option here. We'll use the layers and fields from an ArcGIS service feature layer. So we check that option there and click on Next. And then it will ask you to specify a URL to a feature service. Paste it there. And then click on Next. It will detect your layer. It is showing it is a RCOE protected areas polygons data. That's exactly what we copied. So it's a polygon layer. That is true. If it gives you something else that you didn't, maybe you're confused. So just click on Next to proceed. And then we have some options here for creating a feature layer. If you want to add GPS metadata fields, this is when you want to maybe use this layer to collect data. GPS coordinates. You can check this option here. If you want to allow to enable the Z values, you can come and check this option. That is, Z values are the 3D dimensional data that you will be collecting. If you want to enable M values, you can check this option here. But for us, don't check anything. We are using the defaults. Let them be inactive. Then just click on next. And then we need now to give it a name. And remember that when I told you, you can't create two features with the same name. At the moment, you can see my title is highlighted in red. And it is saying a layer titled "This" already exists. Please choose a different title. So take note that you can't have 2 or 3 layers that have the same name in your account or in your organization. So make sure that if it refuses to save yours, just change the name so that it accepts. So in this case, because I have already created a layer with this name, I'll change. Perhaps I'll call it protected and conserved areas. Areas in ESA. In ESA means Eastern and Southern African region. This one also exists, so I'll just choose, I'll add region in front so that I get a unique name. And once you give it a name, you can go to the folder, pick the folder where you want to save this file in, add the tags. By now, you already know, you should be knowing what the tags means, the phrases that you can use to search for this item. So you can type in the words that you would use to search for this. It's separated by a comma. So make sure that you go and type in or select. If you already have these, if you already have tags that you entered before, then you can just select them or just go and type. So I have mistakenly copied the one for Zambia and remove it and just type protected and conserved areas in Eastern and Southern African. South Africa. Oh, sorry. Removed all the tags. So I'll pick protected areas, protected areas, protected and conserved areas, and then I'll type others. Areas in the ESA region. You can type as many phrases as you want here to ensure that your layer is picked when someone searches for it. And then once you enter the tags, you can come and give your item a short summary. As I told you, it's just a small description of this particular item that you're adding. You can say this layer contains protected and conserved areas in. So it depends. You are just creating a schema, so you can put your country. For me, I come from Kenya. You can say Kenya, but I'll put ESA region. ESA region. Or maybe I'll type ESA in full. I'll call it Eastern and Southern African region. Southern African. Southern African region. So once you enter all the information, just click on save. And then it's telling me a public service with this name already exists. It means someone has already outdone me in saving this. So I'll change the name because I know, I think there's one of you who has already picked the name. I write this in full. Southern Africa. Remember, if it refuses to save, just change the name. It will save. So I'll click on save again. This time around, I am the first to use the name. So if you want to use the same name, just add a 1 in front of it, or put an underscore, then put your name. So you can see this one has created very fast, and because it is an empty layer, you can see it is already created. As I told you, you can come and click on this icon here to add a thumbnail. You can go in the browser and to bring a very good image, a PNG image or a JPG image to act as your thumbnail. You can also come and edit the name of this layer here. You can click on this to edit it. It is a hosted feature layer, which means we have full rights to edit this particular layer. You can come and add a description here. I had shown you how to do that. If you have there are terms of usage, you can click on add terms of usage here and add the terms. So make sure that you come and give a brief description of your layer here, what it is all about. So for example, you can say this feature layer was created to act as a schema, was created to act as the WDPA data schema. Then click on save. And for the times of usage, what you can do, just go there and click on add terms of use and say this feature layer can only be used. This feature layer can only be used for non-commercial use, non-commercial purpose. I click on save. Then you can come and change the sharing. You can see the tags that we entered are appearing here. The folder where we saved in is appearing here. And then we can click on share so that we share this layer. Let me see the other option that we have. So you can share this layer. Click on share. Click on share to share this layer and share it with everyone. So just check everyone's and then click on save. So that means that anyone can access this particular layer. Initially, it was just private, and I'm the only one who could see it. But now, anyone, even you, can be able to use it. So in this case, I want to just show you the various ways, because in the other one we were not able to edit, to view the data. In this case, ours will be empty. When you click on data here, you will see that it is empty. It is a schema, it's a template, so it doesn't have any data. It is empty, but you can see it has all the fields that the WDPA data has. It has a WDPA ID, it has a PID, it has a protected area definition. And this field here, PA definition, is the one that now defines whether the data is a protected area or the data is OECM. So once, if the value here is 1, it means that that particular area or site meets the definition of a protected area. If the value is 0, it means that that site meets the definition of an OECM. So this is what defines the protected areas and OECMs. Name refers to the name of the protected or conserved area. Original name means it's the name of the protected area, maybe in the original language. For example, maybe the name, the protected area is known within the country by a different name. But but when it's been reported, it was reported with a different name. So the original name is the name that is that site is known with. Then we have the designation. Designation means it's the type of the protected area in your country. How do you categorize your protected areas? Now, designation varies from country to country and so forth. So we have all this information, and you have many other fields that we might not see here. I think when you scroll, you'll see many other values that we can't see at the moment. Oh, there's a scroll bar here. You can scroll towards your right, and you will see many other fields added. All these fields are included in the WDPA, and some of them are marked as minimum, others are marked as complete. The minimum ones are mandatory, that we provide. For more information, we will share the link of the WDPA manual, or my colleague will share a link of the WDPA manual in the chat, so that you are able to read through the information I'm just giving you. You're able to know which is minimum, which is complete. So I want to also take you to visualization. Will show you a map of the protected areas that have been added to this template. So when you click on visualization, you should be able to see a map of those. But in this case, because this is an empty feature service layer, you will not be able to see any features because we have not yet added anything in this layer. So it will give you a map of that. When you click on the usage, it will show you the requests for this layer, average requests per day. So it will just give you information about the usage. And lastly, and very importantly, you have the settings option. In the settings option, this is where if this data is authoritative, you can mark it as authoritative. And authoritative means it is a trusted data. It is a trusted data. You are mandated to collect it. Then you can mark this option as authoritative. In some cases, we may get data that was collected, but it's no longer up to date. So if this data is deprecated and you are discouraging people to use it, you mark this option here. You can prevent people from deleting. So if you want to prevent people from deleting this schema, you come and check this option. If you want to allow this data for public data collection, you come and check this option. But this will only work when editing is enabled. You can define the extent for this particular layer. You can click on edit extent and just define. If you want this layer to collect data within a given extent, you can define the extent here. But very importantly, as I told you, people will not be able to use this layer if you don't enable it. So you can see under enabling this layer, saying this layer is shared with the public. If you enable editing, anyone including the public can edit the layer. To allow public editing of this layer, you must first approve it for public data collection by turning on the setting above. If this is not your intent and share the layer, then you can enable editing. So this is just a security feature, because if I enable this, then all the people will be able to edit it. So it comes when it is already inactive. And it can only be activated after checking this option here. Approve this layer to be shared with the public when editing is enabled. So if you click on this option here, you check it, give it time to save. If you check that option, then this option will be active. Enable editing will be active. Remember, you can't be able to use it if it's not enabled. So if I check this option, then even you can be able to use this as a template for preparing your data. So click on save, and it will be saved. So once it saves, then it's a template that is available to everyone, including you, to use it. Then you can come here and allow people, what can people do with this layer? Can they add data? You can click check option to add data. If you don't want people to be able to delete data from this layer, you can check this option. You can uncheck this option so that people can add data, but they cannot delete. It's a security feature that you need to implement. What can they update? If you only want them to update attributes, check the attributes only option. If you want them to update both attributes and geometry, you check attributes and geometry. Remember, attributes refers to the descriptive information of features. Geometry refers to the shape, size, location of features. You can explore more options here, more settings here. Most of them are security features. Most of them are security features to allow you to have full control of your layer. Otherwise, if you leave it open, then people can go and edit it and even delete it. For example, up there, you saw there is an option where you can prevent this layer from being deleted. Prevent this item from being accidentally deleted. So if you check this option here, no one will be able to delete this feature layer. Otherwise, if you give people permission, full permission, they can go ahead, they can even delete your own layer, the one that you created and shared with them. Lastly, you can allow people to export, allow other people to export to different formats. This is very important, especially if these layers you didn't use as a schema or a template, you need to check this option. To allow people to now export and share the data, you need to check this option. Once you check that option, make sure that you save all the changes that have been made. Otherwise, when you go back, all the changes will be lost. All the changes have been saved now. We can go back, and I want you to switch back to the data, to the data tab. As I told you, this is where you are able to add and remove fields. For example, if you want to remove some of the fields within these, you can click on the fields option here on the left side of your screen, and then you can come and remove some of the fields. So against each field, you can see there are 3 dots where you can delete a field, you can calculate a field, or you can view details. So if you no longer need a field, you can just click on the 3 dots to remove a field. But what I wanted to show you is that I wanted to show you how to add a field. So if you want to add a field, which is one of the issues that you are facing, on the top right corner, there is this button called Add Field. So for example, if I want to add a field for photo in this particular layer, you just come and click on Add Field here. And then you need to select the data type for this particular field. A photo is normally will be saved as a URL link. A URL link falls under string option. The string is a type of a text information. So when you click on the down arrow, the arrow beside the text, you'll get the option for the string. And the string allows for alphabet and numeric characters. So when you click on it, you can click on the next. And then you can give it a name. For example, you can call it photo. Because it's a photo, you call it a photo. The display name still call it photo. And the length is the number of characters that this field will allow. So if you think you're going to work with the very long links, then you can add the length. For us, let us work with 1,000. We are sure that there is no link that will go beyond 1,000 characters. Then below, very important, you need to allow null values. If you don't allow, someone will not be able to proceed until they add a link in that particular field. If there is a default value, and the default value normally works when most of the features that you are adding fall within a different category. So you can add a default value for the field so that the data collector gets an easy time when they are adding data, or the person who is the author in the layer gets an easy time when they are adding the data. Otherwise, if for photos, there's no default value. All the links are unique, so you can skip that. But if you want all the fields, all the data that is added to come with a given photo, then you can go and copy that link of the photo and just paste it here as a default value, so that any other feature that is added will be added with that particular photo. Then for the field description, you can come and type here, what is it about? Because this one is a media file, you can just, this is the URL today. This is the URL. This is the URL for the pop-up photo. Field value type. If you want, if it falls in any of this category, you can select it. If it's a percentage or a measurement, or currency, or a count, or a unique identifier, so you can select the type that you want. But for us, it doesn't fall in any. So once you get there, click on Add Field. Click on Add Field, and the field should be added. The field will be added. And now when you scroll down, you should be able to see a field called photo here. You should be able to see a field called photo down there. So once you select it, if you want to delete it or you want to calculate anything, you click on the three dots and you can delete it or review the details for this particular field. So with that mentioned, I hope I have answered most of the questions that we had for the previous session. You can go ahead and complete your assignment. We extended the assignment to the end of the week, so you still have some time to do the assignment. Otherwise, as we wind up, we want to open this session for questions. So if you want to ask any question or you need any form of clarification, this is an opportunity for you to ask. Thank you. Good. So we have Ibrahim. Is it Ibrahim? Ibrahim Ambale. Please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Okay. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Ibrahim.
Yeah. This is Ibrahim Ambale, and my question was that place that you showed us on how to add a file, and each time, like last week and today, you are choosing only I want to use this file. What if you just chose directly download? Because I tried to do download, then I was seeing various types of data, that is CSV, KML. How do we go about it? Maybe if you just chose directly download. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. So what would happen, and that is what I suggest that you go, if you want to finish your assignment, my suggestion is that go and download a shapefile. Click on download, pick shapefile, and then when you come back to the ArcGIS Online, go and add a new item, and then pick from your device and upload it, and then create a hosted feature layer. Then you can go ahead and finish your assignment. So you can still use that option and upload it into your ArcGIS Online and create your own feature layer, which you have full editing rights to add a field and edit the values.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Just give me 30 seconds to ask another question, and that is on what we have just done. Because on the feature layer hosted, we clicked on enable editing. My question is, if we do not enable editing, I, as maybe Ibrahim, who has created that that file, will I be able to edit it or not? Thank you.
Yes, so what we'll have is that you have the rights to edit, yes, but you have switched it off. And maybe you have a reason why you don't want to edit it. So as much as you have the rights to edit it, it will still prevent you from editing until you go and check enable editing. Otherwise, if you don't enable editing, you may not be allowed to add the features to your layer.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
Okay, welcome, Ibrahim. Let us go to Teddy. Teddy, unmute yourself and ask a question.
Good morning, Mr. Eric.
Good morning, Teddy.
I wanted to ask maybe what are the potential factors or circumstances that could lead to the gazettement of a protected area?
What would lead to the gazettement of a protected area? So
Yes.
the factors vary, but let me call my colleague to add on what I'm just about to tell you. So the factors vary, and the first factor will be maybe there's a need. The country wants to maybe use that land for another purpose. Remember, conservation is just one of the land use. We have other competing land uses like settlement. So, for example, there are political factors that can make a country to degazette a protected area. Maybe there is more need. There is a higher need for settlement, so a country can give it out for settlement. Or maybe there is a need. Maybe they have just realized that that particular area has mineral resources, and the government wants to use it for a different purpose. So there are many factors. Some of them are political, others are economic. Maybe they want to use that protected area for another purpose. Maybe they want to establish an airport or a given facility. So there are many factors that would make a country to degazette a protected area. But for that question, because it is my colleague who presented, I want to give him an opportunity to come and answer it. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. I think